Welcome to Looking Back, where I'll take you through interesting historical facts from around the world. In today's episode, we'll look back at the massive explosion in Halifax, Canada. On the morning of December 6, 1917, the French cargo ship, the SS Mont-Blanc, was struck by the Norwegian vessel, the SS Emu, in the harbor of Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. The Mont-Blanc, loaded to the brim with high explosives, caught fire and exploded, devastating the Richmond district of Halifax. Around 1,800 people, mostly in Halifax and Dartmouth, were killed by the blast. Debris, fires, and collapsed buildings, and around 9,000 were injured. The blast was the largest human-made explosion at the time. The energy released was the equivalent of about 2,900 tons of TNT. The SS Mont-Blanc was under orders from the French government to carry her cargo from New York City through Halifax to Bordeaux, France. At about 8:45 a.m., the ship collided at low speed with the Emu that was picking up cargo at relief supplies in New York. On the Mont-Blanc, the collision damaged barrels of benzol that was stored on deck, which made them leak vapors that were ignited by sparks and caused them to catch fire that quickly got out of control. Roughly 20 minutes later, at 9 a.m., the Mont-Blanc exploded. Nearly all structures within a half-mile radius, including the community of Richmond, were destroyed. Roadways, telegraph and phone lines, and submarine cables were disrupted by the blast. Railings to the piers and many of the piers themselves were destroyed. Across the harbor, there was widespread damage in Dartmouth. The tsunami created by the explosion wiped out a community that had lived in the Tufts Cove area for generations. Relief efforts began immediately, and hospitals filled out quickly. Rescue trains arrived from across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Unfortunately, additional trains from central Canada and northeastern United States were on the way, but delayed by blizzards. Construction of temporary shelters to house the many people left homeless began soon after the disaster. The investigation of the incident found that the Mont-Blanc was responsible for the disaster, but after an appeal, it was concluded that both vessels were to blame. The north end of Halifax has several memorials dedicated to the victims of the explosion. One particular memorial is a chime made of 10 bronze bells that was presented to the church by Barbara Orr in memory of her family. Her parents and 4 of her siblings were killed in the explosion. The memorial Carlin bells ranged in size, the largest being 1,800 pounds and 43 inches in diameter, to the smallest at 175 pounds and 20 inches. The explosion left deep, long-lasting scars, including broken families, chronic injuries from embedded glass, and personal stories of loss. The area of the former Richmond district, once destroyed, is now a thriving part of the city, but the event remains a central part of Halifax's identity, symbolizing both immense tragedy and resilience. This video is for educational purposes only, but as always, if you liked what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe to hear more interesting historical facts.